Is it a new start or the end? 너와 나 사이 가르던 평행선이 falling slowly.
If you're watching this on March 14, 2026, then that means zerobase1 is about to complete their last concert as 9 members. 5 shall go on with the zb1 name while the other 4 do whatever it is Yuhua has planned for them. Spoilers. It's probably nothing, and Wake 1 is most likely gonna continue to mistreat them and their next group like they mistreat everyone. Sorry, I have strong feelings on this matter. Back in 2024 I made a similar video with Kepler, and while I don't plan on doing this with any other group, I wanted to look at zb1 because they became one of my all-time favorite boy groups. So, while we already know their bittersweet ending, let's jump back to the start to get the full picture. The survival show that produced zb1, Boys Planet, was first revealed at the 2021 Mama Awards as a male version of Girls Planet 999. The following year, at the 2022 Mama Awards, Mnet released the first teaser video. Eventually, Boys Planet aired on February 2, 2023 with 98 contestants who were then broken down into K Group for Koreans and G Group for, well, everyone else. Unlike Girls Planet 999, I did sit through the entirety of Boys Planet, and I'm sorry for everyone who also watched it while it aired. I swear I actually blacked out on some parts of this show, like I blinked and suddenly it's the live finale. It might have been a mass fever dream, but it did bring us some amazing songs like Over Me and Jelly Pop though. Anyways, enough about that. Should we take a look at our 9 finalists and members of zerobase1?
한유진입니다. 김지용입니다. 김규빈입니다. 김태래입니다. 박건욱입니다. 리키입니다. 성매튜입니다. 성한빈 연습생 장하우입니다.
Three months after the finale of Boys Planet, zb1 made their debut on July 10, 2023 with the mini-album Youth in the Shade. The album was comprised of 5 B-sides, including a house solo earned by ranking first, and title track In Bloom. This song is literally 17 and is one's love child. And I mentioned this once before, but how else am I supposed to describe it? In Bloom is such a bright youthful song, and even almost 3 years later, it's high on my zb1 title track ranking. Youth in the Shade had over 1 million pre-orders by July 4th and later sold over 2 million copies, breaking records as the first boy group to be a million-seller pre-debut and for highest number of pre-orders and sales for a K-pop debut album. In addition to that, the album peaked at number 1 on the Weekly Circle album chart and was the 13th highest-selling album of 2023, according to Hantia. Did they earn music show wins? Yes. zb1 received their first win on July 18th on the show, just 8 days after their debut. In the following days, zb1 won again on July 19th and on July 25th, which was very special because it was Jang Hao's birthday. The group's first comeback and title track Crush came out on November 6, 2023. Now, a lot of people did not like Crush. I am not one of those people. Maybe it was the sudden switch in concept or the entire drum and bass of Crush that people didn't like, but I loved everything about this era. The album designing, the stage outfits, the album itself, everything was perfect. Melting Point earned over 1.7 million pre-orders and sold over 2 million in the first week of release, breaking their previous record for first week sales. Just like their debut album, Melting Point was in the top 20 highest-selling albums of 2023, coming in at number 10. Did they earn music show wins? No. And I have reason to believe that it's because everyone hated on Crush. It's literally the only title track of theirs that didn't win a single award.
줄 수 없게
Yura, zb1's first Japanese single, was pre-released under AREN Japan and Sony Music labels on March 8, 2024. The single album was then released digitally and physically on March 20th with Japanese versions of their two previous title tracks. Up until fairly recently, I didn't pay much attention to Japanese releases, but I remember sitting in the middle of class and listening to Yura for the first time. I instantly fell in love. The world was suddenly so clear, and I felt like the most joyous person on earth. Genuinely, how could you ever hate a song this fun? The song debuted at number 1 on the Oricon Daily Singles Chart and topped both the weekly and monthly charts as well. Yura was later certified double platinum by the Recording Industry Association of Japan. Prior to the release of their third mini-album, zb1 dropped Sweat as a pre-release single on April 24, 2024. A few weeks later, on May 13th, the group officially released You Had Me at Hello and the lead single Feel the Pop. Okay, not to be a hater, but Feel the Pop is a hit or miss for me. Some days I love it and other days I skip it. That's not even to say it's bad or anything, it just doesn't compare to the others. It's not my least favorite zb1 title track though. We'll get to that later. My opinion aside, You Had Me at Hello sold over 1 million copies on its first day, making zb1 the first K-pop group to sell over 1 million copies on the first day 3 consecutive times since debut. Additionally, the album ranked number 15 on Billboard's 25 Best K-pop Albums of 2024 list. It also ranked number 1 on both the Oricon and Circle weekly album charts and reached number 1 on the iTunes Top Albums chart in 22 regions. Did they earn music show wins? Yes. zb1 first won for Feel the Pop while attending the show on May 21st. They also won on May 22nd, May 24th, and May 28th, bringing Feel the Pop to a total of 4 music show wins.
심장이 터질 듯이 pop 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 going crazy 긴장은 pop pop popping popping we never stop 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 나와 같이 느끼니 pop pop popping popping 하나둘 것이 light 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 yeah 어둠은 깊이 더 기울어가 now 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 내게 쏟아져 맘이 너만의 유일한 glim in this complete eclipse flying to the pink sky 날아올라 마법 같은 이 순간 dancing in the moonlight 꿈만 같아 너와 마주한 세상 We're going straight to the top 감출 수 없는 vibes We're the new kids on the block Hello kids 회색 빛이 거리를 전부 뒤집어 놔 We're the new kids on the block We're the new kids 신경 안 써 난 가는 길 Alright 저 끝까지 ride it in 이 순간까지 있는 길이 나의 길 멈출 수 없는 my race 속도를 더 높이 올리지 Highlights 속 시작될 Odyssey 매 순간 영화가 It's the love game Keep on playing 찾아 널 가까이 가 all that Losing my 네 숨겨주게 날 살게 해줘 깊어진 love scene Just like the movie devil game drama 심장을 사진 강렬한 desire You're like my best for me 나를 이뤄가고 있지만 Baby let's kill the Romeo Deep in the city First like dominoes It's not a tragedy Forget the Romeo 내가 걸어갈 길 정해 내 손대로 Count on me
rhythm, start to
Making me
move.
feel good, wanting more, you're so bad.
The fourth mini-album, Cinema Paradise, and title track Good So Bad were released on August 26, 2024, and included a Korean version of Euro Euro as well as a remake of the 1997 song The Sea. Remember when I said Melting Point was perfect? Now take perfection, times that by 10, and that's how I'd describe Cinema Paradise. Dare I say this is peak zb1. Just 4 days after its release, Cinema Paradise had already sold over 1 million copies, making it zb1's fourth consecutive million-selling album. The album peaked at number 1 on the weekly and monthly Circle Albums chart, and reached number 1 on the iTunes Top Albums chart in 15 regions. Good So Bad itself even hit number 1 on the iTunes Top Songs chart in 8 regions. Did they earn music show wins? Yes. Good So Bad actually won on 5 separate shows. The first was on September 3rd, the second being the following day, the third on September 5th, again on September 6th, making that their fourth consecutive music show win, and lastly, they won on September 8th. I think it's safe to say many people like this era, me included. After teasing the public for at least 2 months, zb1 finally dropped their first Japanese EP, Present, on January 29, 2025. The album had 6 songs in total, including 2 new Japanese versions of Feel the Pop and Good So Bad. Present also had the lead single Now or Never, which was previously released on January 15 in preparation for the EP, and only One Story, an OST for Pokémon Horizons the series that was released way back on October 11, 2024. The album debuted at number 1 on both the weekly Oricon Albums and Billboard Japan Hot Albums charts. Present sold about 190,000 copies on its first day and around 260,000 in the first week. It was later certified platinum by the Riot on February 11. Blue Paradise and title track Blue came out on February 24, 2025, following the pre-release Dr. Doctor on January 20th, which had cover art from the Junji Ito. And maybe it's a Wake One thing, but just like Kepler, zb1 also had their first unit songs for their 5th mini-album. Out of Love features Hao, Jin, and Guvin. Step Back features Ricky, Eugene, and Gun Out. And Kroll has the remaining members, Hanbin, Matthew, and Tae-Ray. I'm sorry, but I have to point out that Blue is my least favorite title track. I know, boo me all you want, but I like the song. Until the chorus comes on. Moving on quickly before Zero's Get Me. Blue Paradise debuted at number 1 for both the Circle album and the Oricon Albums charts while also peaking at 1 for the Billboard World Albums chart. It also sold over 1.01 million copies in Korea within the first week, making it zb1's 5th consecutive album to reach this feat. And for the first time, zb1 entered the Billboard 200 with Blue Paradise debuting at number 28. Did they earn music show wins? Yes. Blue did in fact win 3 times. The song first won on March 4th, and then won the next day on Show Champion and on the 7th on Music Bank. Slam Dunk was pre-released on July 23, 2025, a month before zb1's first studio album Never Say Never was released to the public on September 1st. The album featured title track Iconic, a Korean version of Now or Never, as well as 7 new B-sides, 2 of which are unit songs. Extra consists of Hanbin, Matthew, Guvin, Gunauk, and Eugene, and Long Way Back has Jin, Hao, Tae-Ray, and Ricky. While their sister group's Shooting Star was a bittersweet goodbye, Iconic is a well-deserved celebration. They've shot for the stars, and thanks to their hard work and fans, they've become, well, iconic. Their ending as 9 has come, but their impact has left a mark on the future of Wake 1, Mnet, and boy groups overall. Never Say Never sold over 1.1 million copies on its first day. Now zb1's 6th consecutive album to reach those numbers and accumulating them over 9 million sales in 2 years. The album topped the iTunes Top Albums and Top Songs charts in multiple countries. It even achieved a new peak for zb1 on the Billboard 200, debuting at number 23. Speaking of Billboard, they placed Never Say Never at number 11 on their 25 best K-pop albums of 2025. Did they earn music show wins? Oh, absolutely. In fact, they did a full Grand Slam, winning on all major music shows from September 9th to September 14th, the most they've ever won for a title track, which, after the Iconic promotions, brought their total music show wins to 21. The perfect ending to an era. Even though zb1 was due to disband in January, Wake 1 released a statement on November 30, 2025. Unfortunately, the announcement didn't say they'd be staying together as 9 and move companies because they really need to, and instead said their contract was extended for 2 months. So, that gave zb1 enough time to put out a special album. In the weeks leading up to the release of Reflow, they put out 2 pre-release singles. The first, Running to Future, was released on January 9, 2026, while the second, Roses, was released on the 23rd. Finally, the lead single, Love Apocalypse, and album were released on February 2nd. If you cried to any of these 3 songs, you are not alone. They are emotional, especially with the context behind them. Running to Future is a farewell to the fans, to each other, to the team as we know it, but it's also a promise. Times are changing, they aren't sure about what the future holds, but they are promising to wait for zerobase to stay by each other's side. Roses and Love Apocalypse only further add to this message, with the former being the most optimistic song out of the trio. Due to Reflow having a limited number of albums, zb1 weren't able to continue being million sellers, and they also didn't promote on music shows, so no music show awards. I know streaming zeros might be a little upset with that, but it's alright though, because this album isn't meant for the charts. It's a publicly released love letter for both the members and fans that have followed them on this journey. It's called a special album for a reason. So yes, Wake 1 might have revealed on February 11th that the team would continue as 5, and Yuhua might have taken back Hao, Ricky, Guvin, and Eugene. But they will always be 9 in my heart, and the legacy of Zerobase 1 shall continue until the end of time.
그럴지도 몰라 영원이라는 말 누군가 전엔 달콤한 거짓말 에어 그럴 때 있잖아 뻔히 알면서도 거짓이란 거 알면서 믿고 싶어지는 거 yeah. 아마도 이 순간은 다시 오지 않겠지만 내 손에 그저 반짝이는 지금을 간직하고 싶어 뭐다 해도 난 괜찮아 내 곁에 우리가 있으니까 So I gotta take that word 영원이라는 그 꿈을 난 믿어볼래 Eternity 믿지 못했던 얘기 너를 만나고 나서야 꿈꿀 수 있게 됐어 그래서 이제 너와 나만 가득히 이 세상 네게 이정표가 되어 날 붙잡아줘 Yeah You mean a lot of things to me 네가 내 이름을 부를 땐 그 순간만큼은 세상이 내 것이 돼 Yeah 아마도 이 순간은 다시 오지 않겠지만 내 생에 가장 반짝이는 지금을 간직하고 싶어 무모하다 해도 난 괜찮아 내 곁엔 우리가 있으니까 So I gotta take that word 영원이란 그 꿈을 난 믿어볼래 Eternity 잊지 못했던 얘기 너를 만나고 났어요 꿈을 꿀 수 있게 됐어 그래서 In my fantasy 너와 나만 가득히 이 세상을 채우고 서로를 그릴 거야 그래 Everywhere we go 우리가 피워냈던 꽃들이 가득해 Whatever we do 지금 이 기억들은 지워지지 않을 테니